Hi, welcome to One More Today. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue on our journey of going further into the universe of this amazing language. And last time we talked about 身陷囹圄, which is your body trapped inside this confining, blocky prison. So that's our ancient expression of prison. We have contemporary prison, which is 监狱. It's another set of character, another meaning, another source of meaning making. But this is the ancient way of 囹圄. That's the ancient Chinese expression of prison. So today we're going to continue with 身不由己. 身不由己, 身, again, it's this visual body image with the rib cage and the two legs over there. So that's our body. We are using the body like a visible part of you to refer to that person, yourself, basically. And 不, we met this negation. Chinese have several negation words. That means no, not, nada. So all kinds of negation words for Chinese. This is one most commonly used, 不. So you can translate it as no or not, depends on how it's paired. So in this case, because afterwards it's like a verb, so it's using not as the negation to say not follow, right? And it's simple. It's just, okay, regard this. The story goes, this is the sky, and then this arrow looking thing. But over here, note here, it's disconnected. It's not exactly the full arrow, but with a disconnection over there, is a depiction of the bird. So a bird trying to fly to the end of the world, which is the sky limit, and refuse, say no to the earth. Like, I'm not coming down ever. So that's no. That's the origin of the concept no. Yo, okay, this is a little bit more complicated. I have to come up with my own interpretation of why this is the mouse symbol, right? We have a smiley face here. So the block with this two upward pointing direction, that's like your smile. So that's the mouse. And then this drop, oil dropping thing, looking like a teardrop or oil droppings. So it's like something dropping to the mouse, right? And eventually almost like a something getting from like a fire getting from the mouth. So it's really, this is another interpretation of this you, how that visually was represented before. And with the water sign, like a 3 dots on the side, this literally means liquid, oil. So it's a sound maker, it sounds as yo, but the meaning, the original meaning, well, I'm not sure if how original, it depends on what time scale you're looking at. So once it was meant to be reason or cause of things. We can come up with interpretations of why this means reason. Like the reason why you're smiling because you're having something like a oily thing, like nutrition, feed you, water you're drinking. So that's the reason you're existing. We don't know like why people interpret that, and it could be like a totally irrelevant concept. Like it could just mean oil. Disregard the 3 dots of the water sign on the side to get rid of the liquid sign, and it's this sound and how that was eventually borrowed to mean something totally irrelevant. In this case, it's like the reason of something, or the origin of something, that could be up to like a totally irrelevant meaning and borrowed into to mean that, because yo, like the reason or the origin of something could be very abstract. It's hard to visually represent that. So it could be borrowed. But eventually, because it means the reason or the source of something was used in this context as the action word to mean follow, like because of something, like unstated something, and then you have to follow. Okay, I hope. Okay, 己 This is another self-referral. So last time we talked about 语 and without the block, take out the block inside this complicated structure with the number 5 character 5 on the top, which is the sound maker actually, and with the mouse below, the block thing below, the number 5 and the mouse together means, sound 5, it's a self-referral, means me. I don't know why 5 mouth means me, but this is another self-referral. And it started looking like that. It's the edge of a thread. My interpretation, well, according to some scholar, this is another situation when it's something totally irrelevant, but borrowed to mean a pretty abstract concept, means self. But I want to interpret it this way. This is the beginning of a thread. So we, as a complicated being, like with some kind of emotional and intelligent attribute, and we could be a mess, right? Like the tangled thread. So this is the beginning of that tangled thread. So with this thread, maybe you can either bind it, so make the thread in order, like oriented, and make a bind, tie it up so that you're in order, or with this one thread, you can pull and untangle, straighten the whole thread of yourself. So 己 in this concept, the beginning of the thread, could mean like your self-awareness. So that way, if you know the attributes, how you behave, understand yourself in a certain way, in a good level, then that's your key, like the beginning of the thread to untangle yourself. That's my interpretation why this zigzag, because in Chinese, we seldom have one stroke that makes several turns in one stroke, seldom have that. This is a totally visual representation of a zigzag kind of thread, the beginning of the thread. And 身不由己 simply means your body is not following your own will. That means you're forced into a situation involuntarily. Okay, I put a picture of this rainy day of the pond, like all the flowers in the pond are living in this weather, under this weather, whether rain or shine, that's the weather shared by all of them. So a lot of times it's involuntary, like a lot of us, I guess all of us are living involuntarily, not, sometimes not the ideal sunshine or rain that we want, not the optimal situation for us, but we have to somehow endure the weather of this involuntary, I guess, way of existing. So that's the sense of 身不由己. A lot of times it's an excuse. It's like, it's not out of my intention, not out of my own clear-minded will. Like I made a mistake or something like that. Like it's not me. It's not following my own will. Sometimes it's used as an excuse. You can say this is 身不由己. It's not up to me. It's conditioned like that. All right, cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day. See you another day.